Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are here back in Mesa Plains. We are going to be turning around and running out the new rolling stock. As you can see, we did pick up 10 of the Tier 2 cars. So we did make enough progress for that. We did not make enough progress to pick up a new loco, so just at the $1,404 left there. But we should be able to start getting some nice loads delivered as soon as we get the rail connected. That's going to be the kicker. So we are going to be turning around and running into a little bit of a build project today. So we're going to turn around and just fly on over to where we're going to go ahead and pick up the rail. Gives us a nice chance to look at the overhead of what we already have in here. And zooming along the rail, we are going to come out here. Already have a switch put in place for where we're going to pick up track laying today. So we'll just come in here and, oop, that was not, there we go. Delete that one. Probably don't want to derail. Preferably. And we'll just come in and jump right in and get going. Actually, let's see, what mode are we in here? I'm not sure we can turn around. Yeah, I didn't think so. I think we had to fly first. We actually were flying. Alright, cool. I think we'll start this one in precision mode. Just so that we can have some idea what the curve actually is. I'm going to try to sneak off around that side of the hill there. We have tons of room, so we don't need to make this sharp. So let's do something like, we'll do 80 just so we're like total highway speed. Kind of get us aimed off into the right direction. There we are, happy with that one. We'll come back and delete everything in this segment, I think, in one chunk. That way I'll keep myself from worrying about every little thing or trying to work around things. Try to get in a nice long straight here. Ooh, we're losing. See, I don't even like to look because we're like looking at losing rocks and stuff like that I try to keep in the track just for looks. Not gonna worry about it though. This one is just gonna be about the direction of the rail. Are we clear of incline? No, we most definitely are not clear of incline. Do have one of the tunnels up there, though that tunnel I'm not sure. I don't know, I think you'd have to move some things around on the map for that tunnel to be a lot of use. Alright, back up. Find our track. Where is it? There it is. We are going to want to bend off a little more. So we'll go ahead and kick that out now. Something like that should get us clear of everything. This has got to be the most forested area on the whole map. And we're going right through it. Nice thing here is the map is really pretty nice and flat. So if you're not huge on laying in inclines, this is definitely the map for you. Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of some of the trees here. And we'll just see what we get. Make sure we have enough rail in now. If we have a problem, we'd rather fix it at this rate than fix it at a later time. We'll make sure that's gone on the way back. A lot of bushes and trees in here. but that is the nature of laying rail. Too close for big locos. It's gonna go. If it's even close, just gonna get rid of it. Though everything you remove does make your save file bigger. Not that I think it makes a lot of difference. I know there's people out there that think it makes a huge difference. Everybody's performance in this game on PC has always varied, so hard to say. There we go. Getting rid of so much stuff. Let's go. Alright, now we're getting a little crazy. That one can stay. And then the one issue I have with this is that there's little ones like this that even if you go crazy out here, chances are you're going to miss something. Unless you go down the whole rail just clicking the button. But, you know, we'll try to get as much as we can so we derail as little as possible. Now that we have a nice big train already loaded up and ready to do this, it is an argument to almost pick it up a Betsy or a hand car. So one thing that's nice and useful with a hand car is if you buy a hand car just to test your rail and send them flying down the rail, you know the worst thing that happens is you pick up a hand car and throw it back on the rail very fast. Definitely easier than picking up a train, so if you really don't like picking up derailed cars, you know, pick yourself up a hand car and use one for that as a rail test bed. Nothing wrong with that, and they're cheap and they look cool. Wow. Well, back in the day, this would have been crazy. We'd have had rocks and everything flying through space. When in doubt, try to cut it out. That's my advice. Yeah, see, like that one? I wouldn't even look at that twice, but things are popping everywhere. It does not hurt to throw in the random occasional button hit. I will say that. Alright, we're going to get by most of that stuff. It would, you know, I've heard a lot of people turn around and say it'd be nice to have an option that just cleared the track, or a lot of different ways to be able to deal with this. One could argue it's also just part of it, so. Though I know a lot of people are not huge fans. Sometimes, especially in these, you know, you get sticks like this where you just don't know. Is it going to go away? Is it not going to go away? You want it to go away, but it won't go away. There we go. Alright, we'll call that first section clear, although it's not going to hurt us to zoom back along it. See, some parts are just super questionable. But worst case scenario, you can always just try to avoid the treat areas as well. That is an option. Alright, let's go speeder on this if we can. Well, still double checking. Whoa! See, that would have popped the train for sure. So chances are we're not going to get through that without a few bumps and bruises. But yeah, I tried to cut it out. It won't let me, so we'll say it won't do it. And then we'll pick up right from here. We do know that we have another industry off in the oh yeah, there's the stacks for the smelter. We are going to be going to that obviously someday, some way. Not today. So we are just going to run a main line right by that thing. And then at some point we will obviously attach to the main line. But today is not going to be the day for the smelter, that is for sure. We're going to head over to the iron mine. Because now we have our wood up and running. Bring this back to straight. Let's go. There we go. Just try to keep things. Yeah, somewhere in here we're going to need to start raking over for that. That's for sure. So we might as well throw a switch in here. I think we'll put it. It's always a toss up which side to put it on. I think we'll do that. And then we'll just keep going. Again, this is not the target today. So that'll be a later build. Whoop, didn't get it. Do that a lot. You get it close and then you move. Alright, do we start curving? Yes, we do. Let's get on a nice gentle curve. If we can do something like this, then we'll curve a little more, or a lot more. Something like that. Nice thing is you can always do this however you like. There's so many options on this map. You are not stuck in the lanes. You don't have those same common points where, like in Pine Valley, where you just everybody kind of came together at the same points because they were just the place to be. Suppose we could throw a switch in. That is really angled off the other way. Can't say that we're going to come back to that right there. That's for sure. If we have to, we'll put a switch in at a later time. Just don't know how that one's going to work out through there. So we'll just keep this. Do we want it far out like that or closer? Closer in like that. Probably actually want to be out here because it'll make it easier to get into the valley without turning crazy. Alright, so let's run it out something like that. There is our target destination. Actually will want to be something like that maybe, and then I think we'll run over here. We'll run off the dock, that way we just come to it instead of coming in at some angle that we don't like or won't work. Alright, let's look for a link. We should get a free one there. I don't think we get a link up here. We do not. So we'll see where we get that second link. Was there one in here somewhere? Well, I guess we don't really need it. We can just go square. Could have swore there it is. Alright, we will grab that link and then we'll run out here. Just so that we're at least straight through our drop. Well, our pickup in this case, not actually a drop. We'll curve this along here. We'll have to stick a switch in somewhere. I like that at 120. It's not, nothing is sharp there. So Unloading will be nice and easy, or loading will be nice and easy. Well, that means we either have to go up or in. I think in is the way to go. I'd rather go in than up. That's fine. Starting to bring us away from the rock face a little bit, which that's okay too. That actually lines up really nice for that. If we were just going straight to it, though, I do think we're going to put a switch in here. Somewhere in here. Where do we want the switch? We're going to get rid of that big rock pile. Something probably like that. And then we'll have the switch there, but we are going to go with it on the other side. Drop that in. That'll give us the ability to do something out forward here. I mean, we're going to have some kind of backside access to the smelter over there. Not exactly sure how it's going to work into the line, so we'll just put that in case. It'll remind us we have a line going off that way. Alright, and then that'll plug in there. Nice and easy. That's going to get us here. And I suppose we do need to clear the rail, or we're going to have problems. We're probably clear up there. Let's go ahead and clear back this back section this way just as fast as we can. Oops, we don't want to delete rail. I always think, looking at the rocks, I want to break the rocks with a sledgehammer, not really use the saw. But I should have kept that one, actually. Alright, here we go. Let's go cruising. Most of this should come out nice and easy. I don't think we went over a ton of stuff, but there, let that be a lesson. There's today's sneak. There's always a few of them that are sneaky and hidden in there. Alright. That. There we go. I think we got rid of something else in there too that I didn't even see. Yeah, that one's gone. These are the ones I don't think go away. But just really make sure. Alright. It's kind of sketchy out here because you get little, like, there you go, you know? Very little still will cause a problem. Which I know I've heard many times. How come a cactus will derail the train? Alright, it won't. But it will in here. That should go. Yeah, we didn't clear everything. I was gonna say, I think everything from the switch back is clear, but obviously not, because there's a big bush right there. No, I'm skeptical about the whole thing. We'll run back a little bit of a ways here and see if we... That, we know we cleared through the forest. Alright, so we'll turn around and head back over to the mine here. And then we're going to bring this rail down the valley, and hopefully we'd like to have plateau up there. And I know we have another, there's another tunnel up there. Not sure. I mean, I know it comes out on the other side over there. I'm not sure if we'll find a use for that one. Some of the tunnels I do think they just put in there for options, you know, as ways to, You don't have to use the tunnels just because they're there. But if you wanted to move around industries, they certainly made it so you could and still have access to different tunnels. I believe. Just thinking there. Alright, we'll do something like that. Ooh, that's going to get us really close to... Ah, we should be alright with that one. I think we'll even try to leave that rock. Let's see, we get... Oh, that does have a pretty big hitbox. So, the rock we're going to get rid of. We'll keep the big cactus, though. Those are the one thing we will try not to eliminate if we don't have to. Those take way too long to grow, you know? Alright, and then try to make as much headway as possible. I know I lay in precision mode a lot. Cool, and that kind of keeps us right down the middle, which is probably not really where I want to be, but that's where we're going to be. Yeah, we'll take it. We're not going to put in any unnecessary bends. We'll just take out the shrubbery. Let's see if we can get one nice arc through here. Certainly can. Yeah, we'll keep that. Probably could cut off a lot of these turns and run it a lot straighter, but the nice gentle arc running through here is working for me. Options are endless. We'll keep that out there. We are going to have to tighten the turn a little bit here, so we'll pull that back just a little bit. And then kind of just follow that edge where we're going to keep the height. Doesn't mean we're going to end up getting rid of those rocks, but hey, there's a lot of rocks and we can always put more rocks. Probably get that back out to straight for a hot minute. Do something like that, and maybe we can get a nice curve that'll put us alongside that cactus. Huh. Don't really like that with the sand up on the rail there. So we'll probably be better off over this way. Well, this is straight. Where does that take us? Okay, we'll just stay straight. And then we'll curve right up there. Dig it. If straight is the option, that's not too bad of an option. Never gonna hurt you to run a straight rail. I think we'll stay away from all the rocks. Yeah, as long as we go clear there, then we can kind of just come off on this side of the cactus. Of course, everything looks a little more uneven on this side. I think we're okay there. We are really close. Whoa! Long spline certainly gets you to move a lot just with a little. You don't really want to be that far out. I guess I'd rather be somewhere in here. So that's where we're going to be. That will just end up getting rid of That we're not going to get rid of, so we are going to have to move it a little bit here, which that's fine. So we'll stop. Oops. Things were going so well, so then there you go. Alright, grab the link. Back to straight. Although, actually, I think we might as well start curving. Which side of the rock do we want to be on? That's the thing. I think the further off to the right we are, the better. So, I'll work it through there. Will be the goal. That should do it. And then I think we're going to end up dropping in straight here, hopefully. Hopefully we got it to where it can be straight. Yeah, that came out where we wanted it. Alright, and then we're going to back this up just a bit. And we'll drop a switch in here. I think we'll go this way with a that away. We're going to go with this and a that. Alright, hopefully we can bend that over to there at some stage, because I'm going to assume we're going to want to connect there, so we'll try that. Excuse me. And then we'll come in here. We'll grab this one, and we're going to head off in that direction. Oh yeah, we have plenty of time to make our turns in here. I was thinking we were getting a lot closer. In fact, yeah, we have a lot of room. I probably should have brought the switch out. The switch should probably be another quite a bit forward, actually, but this will give us plenty of room, I guess. We definitely don't want to mess with the cactuses. Okay. So if we do something like that, we have a nice curve there, and then somewhere in here. Yeah, we're good. It doesn't matter which rocks we're taking out, we're just going to take them out. There we go. Somewhere in here there's got to be a break in the rail. I think it's right there. Well, let's see. If that's where it is, it'll be convenient. Bam. That was convenient. Alright, and then we're going to want to go, I think, like this. Yeah, because it'll be on the right side if we're going that way. Yeah, I think that's just about as good. That's about as good as we're going to get. So, we'll see now if this all works when we try to put it back together. That's going to go there. And this one hopefully will plug in here decent. Looking okay. Alright, that's shadow because that rail is already clear. We know that. We moved it, but not very far. So now we're just going to have to clean this up. You gotta go. You know what? You're just going to go. We're not even going to debate it. Just get rid of it. That one will leave. I think we'll get crazy and leave that one too. That one we won't, just for safety purposes. These sadly are going to have to go as well. Made it there. Just going to have to do the speeder routine on the way back here. Hopefully we get it all. Probably never will. That's always my take on it. I'd love to say I find them all, but Not often. Little sneaky thing, you know, you could come in here and lower the rail. As I'm noticing, this one's up a little bit. Definitely doesn't need to be up that high. You could go in, lower it, or even auto snap more of it maybe. That's when you gotta watch out, because that'll be buried under your rail there, and it can bite you. Gotta go just too close again. Not going around everything. Now we can leave. Not gonna be a problem. I think that's gonna be okay. Ooh. Come out of there. It'll come out of there. Not even gonna worry about waiting to watch it. We'll be good as long as there's not another little rock shoved in there with it. Go. Plenty of room in here to do a lot. I mean, you could decorate a lot of things in here. Wouldn't make for a bad spot for a yard. Some sort of valley yard here. And then I suppose maybe you do end up using the tunnels up here to do things with, or the shelf. Maybe just put in a scenic passenger route or something of the sort. Alright, there we are. We have made it back to... Yeah, maybe we made it back. I think we have everything clear. So we'll probably just jump over at this point and go ahead and see if we can run the rail. I think will be our goal. Don't need to jump out there. Yeah, we're clear all the way through. We have our quick comeback, so we should be actually good to go. Let's see, we can turn around. And I think we actually have that telegraph booth up here that's going to get us back much closer, save us the flight. And then we'll go ahead and drop down and grab our locomotive here. It's been sitting for a hot minute, so we will go ahead and check wood, water. There we go. Check up on our supplies real quick. As we're heading out. Oh, I bet we don't have any water in the tank. Oh, we do have water in the tank. We're good. That's perfect. Okay, there we go. Train obviously filled up. 10 cars. One thing I don't know if, whatever, it wasn't me, but 10 cars, they did turn around and drop in weird order, so he just turned around and picked them all up. And the one thing I noticed is, like, I don't know, a couple of them didn't get numbers on it. Is it just one? Maybe it's just one didn't get a number, which did turn around and order 10 cars. So I don't know if that's the idea there. Maybe that's just a 0 car and we got 1 through 9, or what the deal is, but there they are. They're all on there. We got 10 of them. They're not in order. They've never been in order. They didn't drop in order. Just backed up, picked them up, called it good. So with that, we're going to head out. 5 and 5 on here. We got the lumber. We got the beams. We got heat. We got water. We got more wood just in case we need it, which we're certainly going to. Heading out of the station, get that one punched up. This should be an interesting haul with Montezuma. This obviously only going to work if the ground stays flat, Definitely not going up hills with this. 10 full-size cars. Quite a bit of an ask for Montezuma. certainly. So hopefully this is going to work and we get speed, but it's going to keep us from dawdling around. That's the idea. We want to run bigger trains on this one, or at least 10 stacks, you know. Not running anything shorter than that. Big distances and pretty flat terrain, so trying to use what we have. Heading out of the yard there. Alright, we're getting up to I don't know that we're going to be able to go any faster than this, but we're going to certainly try a little bit and see what happens. Okay, let's go ahead and try a little bit, Montezuma. We're gonna try to go faster. This is the signal. Go ahead. Start picking up some speed. Yeah, go ahead. Here you go. You're doing it. I don't think we're gonna go a heck of a lot faster than 15, so that's gonna be what it is. I guess we'll jump in here. And see if we go over, make sure that our switch is correct. We'll just have that one switch we have to worry about today. Everything else is going to be free and clear. There, we're picking up a little bit of speed, 16, 17. Let's see, can we go even faster? Well, if Montezuma is going to turn around and pull 10 full freights at speed, I'm not going to complain. That means this locomotive will stick around on this railroad because it has a use. Plain and simple. If it can do this, then that's all it's got to do. It can definitely do it faster. Don't get it wrong, that is true, but it can do this. So there you go. Working it home on the railroad because it'll always have some sort of use as another loco. This amount of cars probably should turn around and take a look at putting some sort of caboose on it. It does make it easier just to make sure you don't lose any cars. And scouting the back cars kind of gets to be a bit of a pain sometimes, just to make sure they're with you. And yes, you can always come back here and count them on the way up. Much easier to do nowadays with the moving camera for sure. A lot of the old headaches in the game are just gone. So we'll just kind of enjoy the ride, I suppose. Got to see where we're at, 17, 18. I don't think we're going to get a heck of a lot more out of that. I think we can crank it down, but oh, she's going to pick up a little bit more. Once things start turning or anything else, I think we'll start losing speed, though. Get any friction on the rail, but that would tell us if we're right up next to. I mean, Montezuma might even be able to pull more. I guess I should be selling it short. Shouldn't say that at this point. Although I do think we dump off a little bit of speed there, and that's not a very big turn, so probably not going to do a lot more good to choke down much more than that. I think in the 70s will keep us powered about as good as we're going to go. Yeah, it looks like we got a little bit back there. So we'll just kind of cruise in there. We'll go ahead and get rid of the HUD and let it ride. Just let them know we are on the way through the station here. Oop, that is pretty close to a cabin crusher there. A little wobble in there. It doesn't cause us much of a hassle, but it's going to keep any of those wide-bodied locos from rubbing on that building, or at least it should. Keep any of the wide-bodied locos or the bigger rolling stock from having any problems there. We're going to just let it run flat out here on the turn, make sure that we're all good. And if we're going to derail on any kind of missed objects, we're going to do it as fast and as heavy and hard as we possibly can. We're just going to run it and hope we did it right. Which, yeah, we'll see. It's another alternative to test crazy the run is you can always take your loco, go much slower. It won't derail all crazy. You can just set things back on. Nothing wrong with doing that in a first run. That one's awfully close, but good. I do have to say that the wooded areas in this map, dude, the train looks cool. Going through here. And I'll give them credit. That's cool. I know some complaint about not having enough. Whoa, that's what it was in the track. That was scary. Spin the camera around just in time to see the log that does not derail the train, so that's kind of nice. So like getting any of that echo out here, we'll check that out hopefully when we get to the valley. If we make it to the valley. That is cool. Okay, well, we made it through the sketchiest portion. That doesn't mean that we're still gonna make it in the clear by any means, but we did get through what I guess I'm shocked that we got through that part. I would have thought I'd have missed at least a stick or a stone to break a few things back there, but we did not. So I am optimistic. Uh-oh. Let's kill that. Alright, no, we don't need to kill that. We made it in time. Hey, you're remote switching. Another nice added alternative to save you headache, time, and all the above. Certainly can make up for a lot of mistakes nowadays in the game. So that's cool. Save the train. That one would have been a dumb train back in the day. Pretty sure. I don't know how many people out there remember running down your train when there was no way to fly and there was no way to really stop it. And you didn't have any phone booths to jump to or telegraph booths to jump to up ahead either. You just had to run or go find your loco. The good old days of the straight runaway locomotive. Things come a long way. This will be nice. Now we can turn around and put a telegraph booth on this end and quite literally fill it and send it and just pick it up on the other end. This should be that aloe that would not let us remove it. I don't think we'll have any issues there. Good. Wow. Optimistically saying that we made it is going to be really super kind of cool if we actually make this whole run without missing anything. We certainly had a lot in there to remove. Nice when you don't have to pick up 10 cars. And I am pleasantly surprised at Montezuma's ability to actually handle this many cars. I feel like we could add more if we wanted to. We're running pretty much top speed for Montezuma, and we're not like, we're not asking for a lot here. It seems to be doing really surprisingly well. Props to Montezuma, excuse me, Montezuma earning its money today. So it's a free locomotive, so there's that. picked up in our takeover of the railroad. So we didn't really take over much of a railroad. There was pretty much nothing here. I don't even know how they got the depot in Montezuma out there, but maybe they have something on site. And there is that, the Valley Echo for sure. The whistle sounds awesome in here. Alright, we'll slow this thing down and see that we can get our goods delivered here. Alright, we definitely actually want to make sure that we get them to the dock. There's too much going on at this point to dawdle. Alright, I think we could probably pick it up a little bit. It's been a hot minute since we've unloaded a ton of trains, so gonna just take it a little bit easy, make sure that we actually get them in there. Alright, that's gonna take care of all of those. Probably need that actually. And then these cars, nice thing, are gonna unload much faster, so we're not gonna worry about dropping these too much. Oh, tell me, yeah. Ooh. Lucky thing is these ones, again, just have to hit the dock too. So no longer here in the locomotive. Alright, we got all of those delivered. Still plenty more to come, obviously. That is through there, so we will turn around and run over and test our connection now. Just a great whistle, do have to say. The echo that's on that thing, just what a sweet sound. That is sweet sounds of Montezuma in the valley. That whistle really does sound good in there. Yeah, digging it. A lot of like senseless whistle blowing going on in the valleys. Nothing wrong with that. Having a little fun with it. Oops. Jumping on the wrong one there. We'll turn around and run our map. We do have the one switch down here, so let's go ahead and make sure we're not going to slam into our bumps and stop at high speed there. 2 switches to deal with today. From there, things should go pretty well. Obviously, we're going to head back and grab some more loads. Going to take quite a few, I would think, to fill this up. I guess we could turn around and jump in here real quick and just take a look at where we are money-wise. 2364, so we will be approaching probably new locomotive money coming up and more rolling stock. Nice down the valley. Just that's cool. Yeah, it's too bad. Should have been able to shut the HUD off and still let the dragger for the whistle wheel. Does make for nice pictures, though. Those cactuses. Cactuses. No, the big giant cacti, super cool. It would be almost cool if they did like a model train version sometime where we could run through like an oversized world of like, you know, almost like Toy Story train, where you could build like a train running around like a house with small size. That'd be cool. I think. Bedroom floor map with chairs and desks and beds and whatever all around. That'd be kind of cool. Whatever, getting crazy. Mesa Plains, good map. Alright, let's bring up the HUD here. We are going to be coming into our intersection. Oh, there we go. There's the miss. Let's jump out of here. Can we get out of here? We're not going to be able to save any of it. It's all going to mash. There we go. Big, giant pile up. I wonder if we're... Is that it? Right there. That's it. Spiky little cacti. At least we got out where it came up. Well, one stayed on the rail. I guess we probably will stop you there. And then we'll turn around, come up here, take a look ahead. We certainly almost made it all the way around. Yeah, there we are, running right up to the end. I guess with that one, we're going to... Yeah, I mean, I'll turn around and get all of this picked up. We're obviously going to run it round course. We're going to call it a little bit of a collision, but here's the thing. The load was actually delivered, right? So I think I feel good about calling it a win. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscription's free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.